Hello, this is George Shears again, and I'm here to introduce you to a second part of what I started in my previous video about Craig Hamilton and evolutionary spirituality. So I'm going to take you to his main website here, and what I'd like to do is share this very special introductory video with you in which he describes integral enlightenment.
What we mean by integral enlightenment is the enlightenment of the whole person. It's about a radical reorientation at the deepest levels of your being that not only transforms your experience of being alive in a profound and fundamental way, but that also, from that initial insight, ripples out and changes everything about your life. It transforms your values, it transforms your moral sense, it transforms your relationship to your mind and your feelings. It transforms your behavior, how you show up in the world. We're talking about a total system transformation. Now, you might say, well, isn't that what enlightenment means anyway? Hasn't enlightenment always been about a kind of total transformation? And I would say, well, yes, in some cases historically, enlightenment probably did mean that to certain people. But if we look at how enlightenment is being used by and large today, it's generally used to refer to a kind of internal shift in our consciousness, maybe giving us access to higher states or certain insights, but one that doesn't necessarily bring about a complete change in how we show up in the world and how we live our lives, in who we are. In fact, we have many spiritual teachers telling us today that enlightenment doesn't show up in any particular way in the world, that there's no such thing as enlightened behavior, and that we can't even tell when someone's enlightened by how they act because they would just be like any other ordinary person. We've even heard people say that, well, you might be enlightened, but you're still going to have all of your stuff to deal with. And by that they mean that although you can access higher states, that doesn't necessarily mean that your humanity's been impacted by those higher states. And in general, they're right about that. Insights don't necessarily lead to transformation. But when we refer to integral enlightenment, what we mean is we mean a kind of awakening, a kind of transformation that really leaves no stone unturned, that really does impact us at the most fundamental level, and in a way that does ripple out and impact every other aspect of our humanity. Now, I think this is the kind of transformation that most of us are seeking for. It is what gets most of us onto the spiritual path in the first place. But if it really is our goal to have this kind of total life change, we have to do a lot more than simply meditate, try to cultivate more awareness, or just focus on being in the present moment. All of these things are good, but the kind of spiritual work that's required to bring about the transformation I'm describing is really, it's work that impacts us on the deepest level, which is the level of our intentions, of our will, of our motivations, of what's driving us as an individual in the world. We have to take up spiritual practices that directly address and work at this level in order to really change ourselves in fundamental ways. And to do this kind of work, it's not a small thing. It really takes a wholehearted commitment, and it usually takes a motivation that's bigger than ourselves, that's greater than us just wanting to feel better or improve our lives a bit. To really do this work and to have this kind of a transformative experience that really changes our life, we have to become motivated by a desire to transform ourselves for the greater good, recognizing that when we go through this kind of transformation I'm describing, that we become really agents of evolution. We become the servants of the cosmos and of a much greater purpose and a greater force that has implications far beyond our own life and our own individuality. When we begin to get rooted in that kind of a motivation, that kind of a drive to practice, then the kind of transformation that we're seeking for is inevitable.
So there you have it. And if you found yourself resonating to that, I strongly encourage you to check out Craig's website, integralenlightenment.com, and browse through these various categories up here. You're going to find a ton of information that is very interesting, and if you are seriously interested in spiritual transformation, I think you'll also find it very inspiring. So thank you much for taking your time to watch this, and I hope you'll visit my blog again real soon. So this is George here saying bye for now.